What is up, OGs? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm gonna give you guys 3 tips why Judo absolutely sucks for self-defense. Yeah, you guys heard me. It really does. Tip number 1, guys, or should I say reason why Judo really sucks for self-defense. Now, if you throw, you go to jail. Well, maybe you don't, but the chances are there. Are really big that you're gonna hurt the guy really bad. Now, when you're at the club practicing Judo, you're practicing and fighting with other guys who do Judo. So if you throw these guys, well, you know, they're conditioned for it. They know how to break fall, and on top of that, you're landing on mats. And you know, at some clubs, you have like the mats, and then you have like another elevated surface than the mat on top, so it even cushions your fall even more. Now, if you were to do that, throw some dude who doesn't know how to fall, isn't conditioned, on pavement, and he lands like on his head, or you know, like there's a lot of things that could happen there. He could be, you know, concussed hard, right into a coma. You could break his neck and turn him paraplegic. That would mean manslaughter, basically. Like if the guy dies, that's horrible. Now you're pretty screwed. Either way, manslaughter or murder, like you're going away. So even if it was for self-defense, but I mean, you know, they could use that against you, man. So that's why Judo, like, you know, and here's the thing, it's very hard to control a throw if your adrenaline is high and you know, you just throw 100% and you don't even hold the guy back. It's a very different thing, because yeah, I know some of you guys might argue, yeah, but I would control the landing, you know, I would hold them back. No, you won't. No, you won't. Like if the guy's like cracking you, and then you clinch up, and your adrenaline is rushing, and you're kind of afraid for your life, and you're just, you know, or you see red, you throw the guy so hard, and you smack, like you're gonna hurt him bad. So that's why it's actually kind of crappy for self-defense, because throwing somebody, you're gonna, you know, really hard. Yeah, no good. Reason number 2 that Judo absolutely sucks rock for self-defense. The problem with Judo is that you got to get close to your opponent and grab him, and then you're able to throw him. Now, there's a lot of things that could happen in between. You can get kicked, you can get punched, right? So if you come in with your hands down, because if all you do is pure Judo and you've never done anything else, you might walk in, and if the guy's a boxer, he's gonna knock your ass out. That's 1. 2, you might not actually want to get close to the guy. You know, maybe the guy is huge, and you're like, it's gonna be really hard to throw him. Or 2, the guy has a weapon. If he has like a knife or something like that, like obviously you don't want to get close. So now, if you don't have any tools in your arsenal, and all you did was Judo, you don't want to do that. So you don't want to go in there and get stabbed while you're trying to grab the guy and throw him, right? It doesn't make any sense. Now, some of you guys might argue that, oh, there's kata and Judo, there's self-defense, and yeah, but none of that stuff actually really works, because their self-defense is really more geared towards, for the most part, like a dude with a sword coming at you, you know? You know, like in Days of the Samurai, and then they grab the wrist and do that and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, sure, it works like that, but you know, for the most part, it's pretty obsolete for like urban life, in my opinion. Now, I think I've seen some katas where they you know, they have guns and all that, but dude, I don't know, man. You know, that's like usually when guys get to, when they want to get their like second dan, third dan, fourth dan, and so on, then that's when they start like, you know, looking into katas and the more like martial aspect of Judo, less sport oriented. But I don't believe it's good, man. You know, I really don't. Like I seen what those guys do, and I'm really not convinced. Of course, it can work. Anything can work under the right circumstances, but most likely it won't, right? So that's that for Judo, guys. You don't want to be going close to the guy, because sometimes it's just not a good idea. If you guys gotten this far and you enjoy the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to help to support this channel and this community. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll see you guys. Well, let's continue the video. Tip number 3, reason number 3 why Judo really sucks for self-defense? Well, most people aren't wearing a jacket or a gi. So what happens when you don't have your grips? Well, if you're a judoka and you haven't practiced a lot of throws without the gi, so you haven't done no gi judo, so to speak, you're kind of screwed. You're gonna kind of be lost because you don't have your grips. It's the same thing like a guy who does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with the gi, and he's been doing that for like years on end, let's say 3, 4, 5 years and all, but he hates no gi, you know, for whatever reason. So he never really does it, you know, and then when he does take off the gi and does it, well, he's all of a sudden not as good. You know, of course, it's not to say that he can't make the adjustments in a relatively short time span, but what happens is that he's kind of at a loss at that moment in time. So if you're a judo guy who does only judo and you got the gi and all that, what happens? You're outside and the guy's wearing t-shirt. You do what? You know, yeah, there's grips you could take and all, but if you don't know them and you haven't practiced them, okay, that's not gonna work too well, right? Because you don't have the sleeve anymore. You can grab the wrist and all that, but I mean, you know, like habits, man, habits. Like if your habits when as a judoka is just to grab the sleeve and then obviously grab the lapel and then start moving the dude, if you don't have those, you're gonna be at a loss, like seriously. So that's why if you do purely judo, like you have done nothing else in life and you just do judo and you're taking it up for self-defense, you know, it's not gonna be ideal at all. Now, I'm saying this as a judoka myself, but I do a lot of other sports, so I can make my judo work in a self-defense context. Because I also box, I kickbox, I do Muay Thai, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I do wrestling. Basically, like I'm doing a whole bunch of combat sports that translate to, you know, MMA basically. So what I'm saying is that I love judo, and judo is great, but if you wanted to learn purely for self-defense and you want to start with something, judo might not be your best bet. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention is judo takes a long ass time to get good at. Long ass time. Like you guys don't understand if you had never done it. But once you start, you're gonna see what I mean. Now, I still push judo because I really think that it's a beautiful combat sport that has a lot of culture and the martial art aspect of it and yada yada yada. It's really good for a lot of reasons that I don't want to get into in this video. But what I'm saying is that if you're thinking that I want to take up something for self-defense and judo is your first choice, you might want to reconsider. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and of course follow me on IG, on TikTok, on where else am I at? I think I'm on Facebook, across all my platforms on social media. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hey, let me know down below, like if you guys agree, and if you do, that's great, and if you disagree, that's great as well. Like I want to know which of these things do you disagree with, And that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So see you guys in the next one. Peace.